On Windows 7, is there any way to make the scroll wheel's focus follow the mouse? On Mac OS X I can mouse over something, without clicking on it or giving it complete focus, and use the scroll wheel to scroll it. On Windows 7 at least, which I'm forced to use in my new job, it does not work this way. Is there any way to change this behavior? I notice that Firefox does this within the app. If any Firefox windows have focus, then you can scroll any other Firefox window that doesn't. So at least the Firefox people think this is a useful feature. And so anyone not familiar with how it works on OS X can see what I'm talking about. I remember Tweakui, which does not seem to be available for Windows 7, having a setting for focus follows mouse, but I don't recall if it allowed setting that only for the scroll wheel. I don't want the full X Windows style focus follows mouse setting, just the ability to scroll whatever I mouse over. Update, according to @Mikey's comment, this is now built into Windows 10. Update, it has been suggested that my question is a duplicate of this question. That question seems to be concerned specifically with multiple controls on a single window, where keyboard focus is on the wrong control, but not on the wrong window. I'm asking about a situation with multiple windows. Any given solution has the potential to handle both use cases, but it is not a foregone conclusion that it would. It would be possible for any piece of software to handle one use case and not the other. They are similar, but they are not the same question.
X button mouse control. This thing rocks. It is very intuitive to tech people, don't know about to a normal person, but if you figure it out, it is really powerful. This URL. And yes, it solves this scroll/hover problem too. In the default profile change wheel up to scroll window up and wheel down to scroll window down. But it is so much more. For instance, some of the things I use it for. I have a Logitech Marathon mouse which is great because it has hyperscrolling and the batteries last 2 years, but in Chrome for some reason when the hyper wheel is spinning, sometimes it can zoom your pages when you press Control. This happens a lot. So with this app I disable control mouse wheel when Chrome is being used. Something that cannot be done by Chrome itself. I set it up to Alt wheel up/down control the system volume. Quite useful. I configured Alt left click to take a screenshot of the active window, Alt right click for a full screenshot. I set Alt key to activate layer 2, settings and GT, modifier keys, then on default profile in the layer 2 I set wheel up/down to scroll window left/right respectively.
To get my Windows installation to scroll like Linux does, whatever the mouse is over is scrolled without necessarily having to have focus, I use a very small freeware app called Always Mouse Wheel. Couldn't live without it on Windows.
My favorite solution is to use WizMouse. The ease of access setting merely sets window focus. WizMouse sends scroll commands to the underlying window without setting the active window. There are a few caveats. Namely, WPF and Silverlight application with subpanes won't play nice. For WPF application examples that would be Visual Studios and Expressions Studios. Some areas of PowerPoint also get whacked, but otherwise it performs as expected.
New info. If you've got Windows 7, it's in the accessibility settings, this URL. Some mouse drivers all this. It's a modification of set focus. Basically, in Windows the developers assumed you may not necessarily want to control what your mouse is over, and so they told the system to wait for you to click on a window before focus was removed from the previous window and assigned to the one you selected. If the system is set to set focus to whichever program your mouse pointer is over, if you're merely trying to get your mouse out of the way and you move it over a different window, whatever you are doing will start occurring in whatever window your mouse is over. You cannot separate scroll focus from full focus. As long as you're aware of this and know how it may affect how you use your computer, if your mouse is capable of this, it's dependent on your mouse and drivers. You should find an option in your mouse settings in the control panel.